Yes, hello folks, welcome back. I'm hoping you're doing well wherever you are. And now, you see, um, this Kalombotole, the serial killer who is alleged to have killed two patients in Kenyatta Hospital, he was taken to court. And of course, there was some shocking scenes that I observed that I would want us to, of course, go through. Now, you see, this guy, when he was in court, he was clueless. He didn't even know what was happening. Huh? And I think this man might be maybe mentally challenged. No. And you see, when you're mentally challenged, it's difficult for you to defend yourself. Because alikuwa tajibu lawyers wake amenyamaza tu, anakaa zuzu fulani, you know. And this has been giving me some serious questions. And I've been asking myself questions. Is this the real person who committed the offense in KNH? Or am I saying so? Because his lawyers, of course, came out and said the government is using this guy as a scapegoat. No, that's what his lawyer said. In fact, his lawyers went the extent of referring the case of, remember, Kware, whereby 40 people were dumped there, and of course, the government swiftly came up with a serial killer. Wakasema huyu ndo ameua watu wote. Then boom, what happened? This guy amekimbia sijui police station mpaka wa leo, no one, including the police, wamewahi no one talks about this guy. What does it mean? Either anajuliwa aende ama we don't know where he is. No. Ama labda ni malizo. You know, shit happens in Kenya. You see. So, you see, this Kalombotole, kesi yake is so weird. And people are asking themselves questions. And a big percentage ya Kenya wanajua kwamba this might be a scapegoat.
Why Kenyatta Hospital management, administration, whoever, even the nurses in charge, the doctor in charge, why the racket? Why couldn't they ask what that man was doing? He was not a patient.
Tuko na watchmen, tuko na next wale wako karibu na yeye. Hakika hakuna hata mmoja aliona hiyo kitendo.
Even though I'm not sure about what happened, so I don't have evidence to say that ako guilty ama ako innocent, but we can just, of course, dig deep and, of course, analyze some points here. For example, the parents of the two patients who were murdered, I mean the families who were murdered in KNH, came out and said that they are going to sue KNH. And they're saying there's no way this guy aliua watu wote bila detection, because a big hospital like Kenyatta Hospital, you can CCTV all over. Then how do you tell us that you didn't even know that this person is the killer? Because even the first murder that took place in February, the DCI and the police, they had Kalombotole as the suspect. If they had him as the suspect, why did they let him leave kwa hospitali tena aende maliza mtu mwingine? You see, it is somehow twisting and, of course, mysterious, and people can't even really understand what is really happening. I mean, why should all this happen? And who is the person who orchestrated, who murdered these two patients? And the family saying that they are going to, of course, sue the government na Kenyatta Hospital. Wawaelezee who murdered their relatives. No. And of course, on the other side, lawyers wa Kalombotole wanasema kwamba huyu jamaa si mwenye huyu jamaa ako challenged, ako na mashida. In fact, it's like he's mentally challenged.
This is a man, you should see him. He's small-bodied, he's disheveled, very sickly, seemingly mentally unstable, chronically ill, suffering from at least 3 conditions, known conditions. Somehow this person was able to commit a murder and cover up the evidence.
And when you are mentally challenged, kama wazima or whatever, it is so easy watu kutumia, because you don't reason, sindio? So mtu anasema tu wewe ndo uliua watu, unakubali because uko chini, you are mentally challenged, uko chini kimawazo. No. And that's the thing that is coming out of this case here, KNH, and people asking themselves, I mean, every time kuna scandal, then inakuja na tension hivi, haraka unasikia serikali imeshika mtu, then mtu baadaye inapatikana kumbe si yeye ama sije amekimbia, ametoka jela, whatever. And that has been the trend kwa hii system. No. And this case here, Kalombotole, is actually making Kenyans ask themselves questions. is this person the real killer ya wale two patients? Ama is he just being used by, maybe he's being used by Kenyatta Hospital as a scapegoat? Because the moment the second patient alikufa, people were shocked. People were like, kwani is it a cult? Because ukisikia mtu amekufa kwa hospitali, will you go there utibiwe? Ama will you take your son ama your daughter there atibiwe? Utapeleka? And of course that will destroy the name of the hospital. So is it that, this hospital walishtuka wakaona normal, let us just take this person, let us look for someone who is mentally down, challenged, tumwekelee kesi. Because ile kisu ilipatikana pale, ile kisu in a kitchen, then hiyo damu, there's no way a killer, because a killer is someone who knows what he's doing. That's why he's doing it in secret. So there's no way a killer will just, finish someone, awache damu, trail ya damu mpaka kwa kitanda yake. It makes sense. Because if that's the case, I think he would have been arrested in the first murder. Because he would have done, or he would have made the same mistake. Kama make mistake ya kuacha damu mpaka kwa kitanda yake, then it means that even the first murder, this guy alifanya the same mistake. Because a murderer who is experienced, who has murdered so many people, will know that if I kill someone and kuna blood, nitapatikana. So atakuwa very careful. Because it means that the first murder you must have been very careful, because that's why kushikwa. Then why did he make mistake in the second murder? No. That's what I'm saying. Hii kesi ina maswali mengi enye mimi na wewe hatuwezi jibu. As in, it's so mysterious. It's only that we have to wait and of course see what will unfold. But it is coming out as mysterious, especially after the lawyers wamekataa CA, and after tumeona ujamaa, the state of his mind is like he's not okay, mentally retarded, and of course after the parents ama the relatives ya watu wenye waliuawa wana complain, wanasema they have to sue KNH because they are sure that the person who's been arrested is not the real person who actually caused the demise of their relatives. No, that's what they're saying. They're saying that KNH knows what is happening, because if there was the first murder in February, it means that they must have installed some CCTV. And if they had Kalombotole as their first suspect in the first murder, why did they let him slip away waende amalize the second patient? So these are questions that of course Kenyans ama the parents need to be told, and they need answers for these questions, because all that we are seeing don't make any sense. No. That's the truth. So tell me, do you really believe that Kalombotole is the person who did the crime? Because I'm not saying that he's guilty, I mean he's innocent, but I'm just saying that based on what we are seeing, based on the blunders we are seeing, okay? Do you think this guy is the one who wakes up in the midnight and he goes and slaughters his fellow patients? And why is it that no one saw him atakitembea kisu? Because I believe there must have been a patient, because ward ni kubwa, as in doctors na nurse wako all over, sindio? So how did he maneuver? Is it that clever? As in he just maneuvered? Then if he's that clever, why did he leave trail ya damu tena? Because it means that he's so clever. That's why hajashikwa. Then why did he leave the trail ya damu to his bed? You see, these are questions that of course we need answers. We need answers for, and of course, as we wait for the case to unfold, we need to know what really transpired, because case ya murder is a serious case, and it doesn't go down that way. It has to be investigated so that to stop future murders. No? And that's how it is. So tell me what you think. Subscribe, of course, so that we always meet here whenever you have these contents pertaining what happens in Kenya's political scene, in Kenya's current affairs. Subscribe, comment, and of course, we meet in the next video. Thank you.